maar ben nog steeds in de buurtschap. Ik ben nog steeds in de buurtschap. Schoonboef man.
Om 1 uur met z'n tweeën op een driewieler. Ik ga niks vieren in die 5-pak. Ik moet nog langs 6 clannies, bro, begrijp dat. Ondertussen de scene 7 zonder memory card. Deze achterlijke flow is als Messi met bal. Soms gaat die 9 mee, ik loop echt niet in val. Ik heb 10 bitches die me stalken op mijn oude nummer. Misschien koop ik een Bentley met gouden bumper. Hey, dus ik blus wat, assie en ik rust wat. Je fiets komt niet terug, had beter dat je bus pakt. Nakte zelfs je vaders fiets, maar deed dat met moedersleutel. Ik heb die Ferrari niet, maar ooit geef ik mijn moeder sleutel. Wil een dikke bak, vroeger heb ik dik gepakt. Lullen over tories, maar never heb je dik gepakt. Money in gesprek, die wijven hou ik in de wacht. Straks heb ik aanzien en krijgen zelfs blinde last. Hesje var, gewoon op die paper chase. Zoveel slechte dingen gedaan, maar ik leef nog steeds. Zeg politie, ben oneven, ik weet geen eens. En vroeger bleef ik sterk en nu leef ik breed. Hesje var, gewoon op die paper chase. Zoveel slechte dingen gedaan, maar ik leef nog steeds. Zeg politie, ben oneven, ik weet geen eens. En vroeger bleef ik sterk en nu leef ik breed. I don't fuck with you, bitch, dat gaat hem niet worden, schat. Dat kan je boos doen, maar let wel op je woorden, schat. Punchline king, ja, want ik neuk de woorden, schat. Die Tory was een eitje, maar toch heb jij het doorgebakt. Nu zie je soms een lach, als ik leuke shows pak. Want vroeger was ik standaard op je Windows als bureaublad. Nu in de PC, broeder als een aansluiting. Rappers gaan failliet door mij, denken aansluiting. Haten op mij, maar ze willen mij zijn. Net op Facebook, maar ik bracht op tijdlijn. Noem ik Kenny's grensrechter, willen zijlijn. Rolex nakken, mijn manier van op tijd zijn. En op de grind zijn is wat elke strijder deed. Ik eet een bitch die super nat is, in wijk aan zee. Zou nooit met jou in zee gaan, dan lach je wijk aan zee. Maar zoek je sosa, Mattie, je komt in mijn wijk aan zee. Hesje var, gewoon op die paper chase. Zoveel slechte dingen gedaan, maar ik leef nog steeds. Zeg politie, ben oneven, ik weet geen eens. En vroeger bleef ik sterk en nu leef ik breed. Hesje var, gewoon op die paper chase. Zoveel slechte dingen gedaan, maar ik leef nog steeds. Zeg politie, ben oneven, ik weet geen eens. En vroeger bleef ik sterk en nu leef ik breed.
Yo, what up guys? We back again for a live stream. How are you guys doing? NFP in 13 minutes, man. Time to see some volatility. TK, alternate strings, how you doing, man? Long time no speak. Danny, Pintsick, entrepreneur, and Buzz Boof, yeah. Oh wait, I have to do another playlist because I listen to some very extreme music from time to time. Alright, we're looking at DXY right now. It's actually pretty good week we had, especially Tuesday. Everything you see on the screen was outlined before it happened, by the way, so I'm not putting out text boxes in here. But is the music too loud? Let me know if it's too loud, because I don't know if it's too loud. Alright, let's look at what could potentially happen today. What is your prediction, guys, for NFP? If possible, turn off. Let me put it like very low. Xscript and AP both in the YouTube. How you doing, guys? Alright, so there is a monthly fair value gap still on EU. Can we see it over here? I don't don't want to say it will hit with NFP because that's then it maybe it can, but I'm not sure. Let me check the numbers first, by the way. Let me check the numbers. Right, so they're expecting worse numbers than they're forecasting worse numbers than previous. So let's see if they have worse numbers or not. I don't really think it matters because price is just a volatility injection. GU has the equal highs. GU is bullish. I mean, yes, yes, yes. This one over here. Oh, this. If you follow the Telegram, I sent in this trend line on Tuesday. Then it went a little bit higher into another fair value gap, which is up here. Yeah. Pretty. February is going to be better price action. I'm excited already. But yeah, GU has equal highs, still also from way back here. So we're actually coming back into this order block down here, as you can see. Right, and now we have this two down close candles on GU. And this looks especially good to me because we took out a low prior, as you can see, hitting another area of price. The only thing I dislike about this area is that it did liquidate this low, but it's kinda still equal, right? So if it went down all the way down here and then started to break up, that would have been a little bit better. Nonetheless, it still looks, this liquidity still looks good to me. And now we're in pretty, let me stop the music because it's getting pretty extreme. I don't know if the software picks up the music, but yeah. So this one looks especially good to me because it took out this liquidity lower down here. Right. Let me pull this back. And guys, always on FOMC days and NFP NFP week after Wednesday's London session, then don't trade. That's the rule. So I don't update my charts after Thursday or Wednesday on NFP week anyway. So I don't get induced into doing something myself, you know. So let's see how this looks. 15-minute. If it wasn't NFP, I would think this is a very good break of structure. And then with NFP release we can drop lower down into this one, maybe even into this one. Yeah, this looks good, this area. Now take a fib. Sweet spot is in here too. And guys, don't trade NFP release, please. You will get slipped. It will be a bad time. So alright, so this gap actually looks pretty solid to me. Let's dive in a little bit deeper. We're already melting a little bit towards there. Did we have SMT on? We have SMT on the high, so we have quickly looking at Euro USD. Euro USD made a higher high, but GU failed to make a higher high. See, so we have this high over here, took out this high, and then we go here, and then this high did not take out this high. So this is SMT. So that's a good indication that we can draw lower before we can move up higher. I really dislike this down here. That's why if it was a normal occasion, there was no news, then probably you can wait for it to drop into this gap and then see if how structure develops. If it breaks structure upwards again, you know, then there's an opportunity to target these highs. But this looks like an original consolidation. If you guys know the market maker models, right? You always have an original consolidation. So down here could be an original consolidation, right? So that's why this is still a risky as hell structure, in my opinion. Does that make sense? Good morning, Mr. Jukes. We're also live on YouTube, by the way, so that's why I'm talking also to other people, so you guys know. But yeah, we're looking at GU. So if I would have guessed with the news release in 4 minutes, I would guess we dump into this old gap because of the SMT in the highs. It's probably gonna stay intact with the news release. Draw into OTE levels of this range. And then all these highs are intact. But I would not advise anything to do anything on NFP, guys. It's not good. Euro AUD from the daily, so sweet. Let's see. Oh man, I remember we replaced GJ for a Euro AUD. Do you guys remember? From the Discord, I mean. And then I removed it again because we had this price action. Does NFP data affect pairs not involving USD like GJ? Yes. Not really economically, it's not really affecting them, but because the dollar is moving, other assets will move too. So everything will move because you have to see DXY as the backbone of everything. So you have to watch DXY. The first thing you do is analyze DXY. You don't look at GJ first or at whatever, at oil or gold. You go to DXY first thing in the morning when you are analyzing, and then what is the most likely direction for DXY, and then you go to your other currencies and see what is most likely to happen. I'm really interested if we can drop in here and then move away. That would be very sweet. It is looking very messy though. So, I think this was Euro interest rates on Wednesday, and an immediate redelivery of this BZ over here, leaving equal lows. Got rated this morning, so we rated this low already. Thursday's low. It's only a 3 or 4 pip rate, so that's not it's not too much though. You have the same view on GU? Well, that's very good. I like that. Gold. Opsia. Yeah, it looks like we can have a run on these low, or we're gonna tap into this OB. But there's a lot of low resistance liquidity up here. So I feel like if we draw lower first and we take out this low, or we hold this order block, which I don't think is a really solid order block here. But this is a very good area to draw into. But we're gonna watch how this one goes because I'm very interested in this one right now. So little recap, we have SMT on the highs, right? So it's likely to hold for now with release, drop into this. I don't like this because it looked like the original consolidation. So 2 seconds, we will see what happens. Right, so liquidation of the consolidation, that's what I didn't like. So you have this one. Original consolidation. Right, so I assume a fake move first, right? That's a pretty massive drop. Let me see what the numbers are. They, oh my god, they predicted 193,000 for NFP and they got 517,000. So that's very, very insanely good news. That's insanely good news. That's probably why we're seeing this drop right now. Because dollar strength, right? So dollar should rocket up. That's crazy. Are they just so bad at predicting how many numbers they will get? Because it's off like almost 250% off the prediction. Yeah, that's crazy. So does DXY price action correlate negatively with other currencies? If DXY goes up, then Euro USD goes down, GU goes down, USD get go up, and then ES should go down. Because you have to think about risk on and risk off scenario, right? So if there's a risk on scenario, there people won't invest in the dollar because that's a risky. It's more risky to invest into equities than it is into the dollar because the dollar is really stable. So if it's a risk off scenario, everybody invests in dollar, then equities drop because nobody is buying equities. So then when there's no demand, then it will look for where it can go for lower prices so people can buy it, right? Does that make sense? Yo, what up, DK, man? Yeah, I think this should be the fake move. I don't think we should drop technically because all the liquidity up here is still present. DXY 4-hour mean threshold OB. Let me grade this one. Yeah, so it almost, if we take the wick though, maybe then it hits it. Yo, it's double. Yeah, it's CE of this 4-hour order block. And it already did a high resistance liquidity run. Also talked about this high resistance liquidity run on Sunday before market open, that it could occur. I posted the market outlook too for everybody to see in the Telegram if you want to see it. GU equal lows. Let's compare. Let's compare this one, then EU, and let's see what they are doing. Okay, I really have to go to the 4-hour because I have to zoom so far out. It did liquidate this low slightly, but yeah, I would prefer it to go a little bit deeper, right? Oh, I'm just noticing this gap down here too. That changes stuff a little bit. Let's see how that develops. There's a massive 4-hour gap down here. This is also a little bit equal. It did liquidate it, but it's still a little bit equal. And you can see this 4-hour fair value gap is being respected. We could actually have a smart money reversal up here. Interesting. So yeah, that makes me believe we should draw lower because of this 4-hour gap down here. And then we had SMT earlier, right? Like I said, that's unlikely it will draw higher first. Now let's look at Euro GBP. What is most likely to happen? Look, I was wrong about this one. I thought we had a nice original consolidation down here. And then a smart money reversal down here because we broke down structure here. We rejected this breaker and an alt gap. So I don't know why it did not go down. This looked like a really good short-term market maker sell model. I don't get everything right 100% of the time, so still curious why it did not go lower. I'll never know. Yeah, and it's also not advised to trade straight after news. Just let it die down for an hour or so you can see some structure develop. Because the thing is with news, if it drops, this is a drop of 90 plus pips. So there's only sell side provided on this one. So we have a CB here, right? Sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. So there's no buy side offered in here. So I like to wait if this, maybe sometimes you have CPI, right? And you have this like this large candle too. Unless there is some sort of break of structure upwards, then you can say, okay, we're gonna redeliver price action into this CB. But right now there's no indication it will go up. So after identifying the SMT between EU and GU and expecting price to go down, was there any setup for a sell on GU EU? Alright, so let's scroll back a little bit. We identified SMT, right? But was there an entry on the 1 minute? I mean, it's kind of a reach because there is plenty liquidity above here, so I would not even bother looking for a setup here. You could say once we took out this high over here and started to displace lower, then you see the first respect of this fair value gap. Right, you see one fair value gap being respected. Right, then we break structure lower. Where's the entry? I mean, I can see an advanced entry, but there's no clean entry. So, and with all this liquidity up here, I would not say there was an entry on GU. At least high probability in my opinion. Right, and on EU. EU took out the high, that's the SMT we created, right? This is the SMT with GU. Then we break lower. Right. We did have reaccumulation inside this gap. So maybe if you are feeling frisky, you could have sold in here and put your stop above the high, but again, too risky before news. Too risky. And then yeah, no, I don't think there's really an entry in my opinion on this one. You did have these equal lows down here, so you could have had an indication it's probably gonna run for these lows with the news release, right? Rion, how are you doing? You are welcome, AA. AA Ron. You're studying hard, DB Tech. Nice, nice. If you have any questions or that kind of stuff, right? Always message me. Yes, filled the daily volume imbalance. Yes, sir. You've got a volume imbalance on the daily. Let me get this parallel channel. Let's make it very colorful. A little bit less, right? Yo, where did it go? Visibility. Greetings from the Czech Republic. Welcome, welcome, friend. Oh, look at that. Look at that. CE. CE of the volume, daily volume imbalance. That's actually a good point to reverse. Do we have SMT? We do have SMT right now. So US 30 took out this high, while ES did not. We are starting to respect this little gap. I would not say it's bullish yet, because one little 1 minute gap being respected for now is not an indication we're gonna run higher. Right, so. And actually what I prefer is SMT on the lows. If you are looking for buying something, look for SMT on the lows. That will give you a stronger stronger low. How do I explain it? Like it's more likely to draw higher when there's SMT on the lows. And same with SMT on the highs, just like we saw with GU, right? We saw this SMT on the highs before news release. So it's more likely to draw lower before we're gonna go up. And then with this original consolidation. See, now we're closing below this gap already, so I'm not too sure what's gonna happen right now. It's also better not to trade right as after NFP release. So sorry, I missed your message. Ola Lekan. Ola Tunde. Pairs not involving the USD. Yeah, because if you're looking, for instance, at the EuroCAD or something, then DXY is less important, because let's say DXY is consolidating, so there's no movement with dollar pairs, then it's better to go with EuroCAD or GCAD or even Euro NZD or something like that, right? How many indications do you need to be more confident for going long? I need to see a confirmation on the 5 at least. So for me, 5-minute time frame is like the sweet spot. I don't like to look at the 1-minute time frame. I prefer to wait for a 5-minute structure shift. I know you can get a better entry on the 1 minute and more, maybe a potential higher risk to reward. but the amount of times 1 minute time frame breaks structure and then dumps afterwards is significantly higher than me waiting for a 5 minute break of structure and then looking for an entry. Because you don't always have to, because I know everybody's looking for this. This is what everybody's looking for, and it's a very clean model. It's like we have a low, we sweep that low, and then we wait for the break of structure, right? And then go back into the fair value gap and then going up. That's what everybody is looking for, right? This is what everybody is looking for, and this is the most easy to spot model too. That's why it's the most beautiful ICT mentorship 2022 model. Alright, you have the break of structure, you wait for a low to get swept, then the break of structure upwards. Right. And then there should be a fair value gap somewhere in here. Right, and that's your entry. Right, but you don't always have to enter here. Sometimes price goes here and doesn't come back here. Why is that? It depends. It depends how a structure is forming inside this area here. Because if this is a balanced price range, this will be a breakaway gap. As you see often happen, you wait for your entry and it doesn't come. That's the reason. Why does it bounce from here then? Right? We have this breaker block. Right? There's a breaker block here. And there it's bouncing from here. Yeah, so then you have confirmation. And in my opinion, if there's a breakaway gap down here, this low is even better. Because now you wait for another displacement and then maybe there's a fair value gap here. Right? And then you wait for it to come back in here and continue up. This is another opportunity. You have this one is an opportunity, this one is an opportunity, and this is the safest opportunity. Does that make sense? ICT unicorn setup. I don't know what the ICT unicorn setup is. Make a video on it? On what? Yeah, so look how we talked about that 4-hour gap earlier, right? This is drawing straight down into here. Yo, I'm a bit slow right now, I'm not gonna lie. I should have known. I see why right now it should have drawn here in the first place. And this is something, you can see this breakaway gap, right, from last week, 2 weeks ago. This breakaway gap was already, this is a breakaway gap, right? So it's already balanced, that's why it's a breakaway gap. If price comes back into it here, it's unlikely to draw higher again because it left a breakaway gap before. So why is it coming back again, right? A breaker plus fair value gap, is that the unicorn setup? Ah, I see. I didn't know it's called a unicorn setup. My bad. I don't really I study ICT obviously, but I tend not to look at his Twitter, otherwise I get distracted from my own trading ideas. Obviously he gives out a lot of value on his Twitter, so make sure to follow his tweets if you are learning. But when I'm trading myself, I don't look at the Twitter. I don't really listen at the spaces either. So I might be missing out on some stuff, but I feel like I'm developing my own, like, how do you call it, like model or something, or like feel for the market. So I feel like I need to spread my wings and not get guided too much. So if I make mistakes, I can figure out myself what I did wrong, and that helps me more. I'm going straight through these lows too. All right. So we're gonna have a bullish this February for DXY. Looks like. Why am I thinking that? Who knows? Because we reached target this week. Yeah, Jukes, that's better. Sometimes you really need to focus yourself first, right? And then if you did good, then go check out the tweets, see if he's tweeting the same things you were looking at, and that's a kind of good like practice thing. Above weekly opening. Yeah, that's also a good filter, right, for a reversal for next week. Wait, I'm eyeing this LR. Yeah, so this is what I'm eyeing. It's pretty far away right now. We have this low resistance liquidity too here. So we have two low resistance liquidities. We had a redistribution phase here. Now, the thing I'm eyeing the most right now is this accumulation, right? Manipulation. And then we should see distribution upwards. Might be a little bit too far up here, but for next week, but the manipulation phase, when is the manipulation phase valid? Who knows when it's highly likely to do a distribution afterwards. Once consolidation has formed. Yeah, you need a consolidation, that's true, trademarks, that's true. Otherwise we don't have an accumulation phase. But what does the manipulation phase, where does it have to reach into? Right? It has to reach into a valid higher time frame POI. And if it displaces afterwards from that POI, then in my opinion, and this is just my own observation, right? Then it should be more valid. And where did we go into we accumulated, then we manipulated lower into what? Let's go to the monthly. Right, into this monthly fair value gap. Right? If I'm reaching, then you could say we also have this breaker here. Right? And what is today? It's only the third day of this month, right? So we traded, took out previous monthly low into that fair value gap. Now we're moving away from it. So what is likely to happen? Probably it's gonna reach for a weekly premium. What do we have on the weekly? What do we have on the weekly? Up here. Yes, up D. Very well. That's correct. I like that. So it's reaching for a weekly premium. Once it reaches a weekly premium, what are we gonna do? We're gonna look for a daily discount. So once it reaches into the premium, it's likely to draw back into either a fair value gap, volume imbalance, or a breaker to continue up. Does that make sense? It's like a ping pong. It's a ping pong from monthly to weekly to daily. monthly to weekly to daily. So yeah, the higher time frame point of interest is important where the manipulation happens. And if you go back to the Telegram, I sent in an AMD model for GU. If you guys remember, was GU right? Or am I drunk? Or was it EU? Mm. And same daily to 4-hour study ES this week, guys. You will see it. Yes, Thomas agreed. So what did we hit? We hit a long-term target right now, right? So what is likely to happen? Daily, we took out these highs. Right, so what are we gonna reach for on the 4-hour? Probably a discount, right? So you have this for fair value gap, this order block, right? Does this look like an original consolidation? Maybe. Need to see a break of structure lower first, so you need more price action to develop before you can say, all right, we're gonna go full-blown bearish, right? Do you also study COT data and open interest? I should, but I don't do it, but I should. Oh yeah, Nasdaq has equals, very much equals, like down here, right? The amount of liquidity resting down here. Ooh la la. Do I have a video on identifying original consolidation? I mean, I have a video about market maker models, as well as ICT has them too. I don't know exactly which video. He uploaded everything from his core content, right? So there should be something in there. But I made my own video about it too. Not for public YouTube though. Erion nepotrobuje takofeta hojimok. I don't know if I pronounced that well, Thomas, but because I don't speak, you're from Czech, right? So breaker plus fair value gap on monthly. Can you repeat that? Can I repeat that? I'm not sure what you mean, AA. Is January 27th candle on ES daily a breaker? Yeah, I know he's Czech, Thomas. January 27th. This one. No, it's not a breaker. If it is anything, it's a mitigation block, but it is not a breaker. Danny, I don't know. I don't think I will be live streaming on YouTube. It takes a lot of work to do all these things, right? From time to time, live streaming is fun though. So probably do a giveaway soon too. Again, like a 10K account to make somebody happy. Then you should follow my Instagram if you want to participate once I drop it again. I'm not super active on Instagram. Telegram is more like the thing where I'm active on. So Yeah, we'll throw out another 10k challenge account for someone. So I will drop it in the Telegram also when I'm doing that giveaway. So I just remembered I wanted to do a trade like a tournament kind of thing. I totally forgot about that. That should be fun. Thank you, Thomas, for the kind words, my friend. Almost in that 4-hour gap. Just a little bit more. I want to say that we're gonna reverse from here, but oh man, I don't like why does it have to wick like a 1 or 2 pips above this high, right? I would rather prefer to do like a 10, 20, 30 pip sweep. What is the current daily chart dealing range on gold? The daily dealing range on gold? If you're looking at the dealing range on gold, on the daily so nasty. Personally, I would take this low till this high. That's what I would take. Because you need to take a swing high to a swing low. And preferably it takes liquidity, the low and the high. This one did. It did not take an old low, but it did react off this fair value gap, right? And this high took out this high, obviously. And I like taking this low because it displaced from this low upwards. This is just accumulation. So when you see a break of structure on the lower time frame inside this area, you are in premium and you're reaching for daily for discount, which is everything down here. So what is most likely to get tapped? This gap. And look at the top of this gap is at this quarter. It's actually, that's funny. Yeah. Right, the quarter is right at the start of this fair value gap. Do you live streaming with your Discord? Yes, 3 times a week. Just like videos I posted on YouTube. That's what you see there. That's what I do on Tuesday, Thursday, New York session, and Friday, London session. And sometimes when price action is not really clean or it's like not favorable to trade, I will throw in an extra live stream when price action is a little bit more favorable. Because I cannot control how price action will be, right? So if it's unfavorable, sometimes the stream ends a little bit earlier, and yeah, that's how it goes. It's I'm gonna launch today. After the stream, I will open up on Telegram. It will be 49 euro per month, and then after this month, I will go back to 60. And if you join the first month, then you can keep with the original price, the first month price. And lifetime is 500. So if you want to be a lifetimer, that's a possibility too. Alright, so let's look at if there's something happening over here. We're slowly building structure right now. SMT with US30. US30 did not take out any lows. Well, don't force any setups on a Friday after NFP. It's not not advised at all. Yeah, we might have bottomed out right now. We'll see. Because you have to think about what is happening right now here. We have the first respect of the day, of the after NFP. Now we have this little low down here, so this whole down close candles will become one big fat breaker. And you need to see price stay above this gap. If it starts to decline from here again, then it's probably gonna go for this low and this low. Because the body is still closing aside, which is not a good sign. If you want to be a bull, if you want to go up, right, you need to see it close above. All right, guys. I think we'll wrap it up here because don't trade right now. So I don't want to induce you guys. So make sure to check out the Telegram, guys. It is the OTE Trader. My Telegram is OTE's Chart Lab. Don't fall for the others because there are some cheaters, some scammers who use my logo and my name. But yeah, in the description there is the original. I'm the original. See you, Thomas. Thank you for joining, guys. Make sure to check out the Telegram. I will launch the Discord today again for reopening. And I wish you all a great weekend. And I will speak to you guys in a new market outlook. And yeah, take care.